It's your first class, we can't wait to share this journey with you. We're going to kind of lay out sort of the ins and outs of what to expect over the next 8 weeks in this session. My name is Tracy DeFreitas, and I'll be helping with moderation for most of the sessions in this program. Each session will cover a different health and wellness topic presented by WVU MWM experts. Sessions will also include a 10-minute-ish movement segment facilitated by Medical Weight Management's PA and certified physical trainer, Linda Christopher. So she'll be doing that for most of our sessions, not all of them. Our lecture today will be led by Judy Siebert. Judy is a registered dietitian. Judy, we're really excited to have you here. And Judy is also the mastermind behind this entire series, so everyone should know that. Now, before we get started, let's review the group rules on the next slide. And I would like to ask if you could please mute during the lecture series. Of course, when we get to the questions, you're welcome to unmute or put questions in the chat. We do want this to be a safe and supportive environment for everyone, and so that we ask everyone to adhere to the following group rules. Please do treat everyone with respect, even when disagreeing, and avoid any personal attacks or judgment. Maintain the privacy of shared information unless explicit permission is given to share it outside of the group. Avoid any language or behavior that demeans or belittles others. And finally, this is a safe space where everyone is encouraged to contribute and share their thoughts and experiences. So do feel free to use the chat to do that. We will save time at the end for questions. And so if you'd like to get involved and participate, then we encourage it. Now, let's get started with an introduction to this program. So this series was originally designed for people losing coverage of their GLP-1 medication, but whether you're transitioning off of GLP-1 medication or simply seeking sustainable change to support your weight management journey, this program can help. West Virginia University Medicine Medical Weight Management is offering this special 8-week virtual program that's designed to help you navigate this transition and continue your weight management journey with confidence. We know that everyone's journey is different, and we do want to honor the truth that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to any of anyone's journey. Your path is personal. It's what makes it powerful for you. And we know that progress isn't always loud. It can be in the quiet steps that you make, the gentle pivots that you make in your journey. But you're making that choice to keep going forward. And forward, no matter what, is the pace that we want to take, of course. Now, together over the next couple of months, we'll explore habits that nourish and mindsets that uplift and strategies that stick. That's kind of our goal here today. Now, the program is led by an expert team, including physicians, registered dietitians, advanced practice providers, health coaches, and exercise physiologists, and will provide you with the tools and strategies you need to maintain your progress, to prevent weight gain, and in some cases, even continue losing weight. Throughout the series, we will cover a wide variety of essential topics that will include managing food noise and cravings, making smart food choices that satisfy, exploring alternative medications and treatment options, and developing effective exercise strategies, embracing mindfulness techniques to stay present and intentional, and building sustainable lifestyle habits for long-term success. This program is designed to empower you with evidence-based strategies and a supportive community to help you stay on track. Now, each session will begin with the group rules, and we will normally also begin with a grounding exercise to just prepare us for learning. Today, we're going to end with a brief grounding exercise. We will then have a discussion topic, and everyone has a chance, of course, to engage and share and ask questions. We'll also have a guided exercise activity, which might include some light stretching, some simple movements. Lynn's going to show us how to lift weights and build that muscle. And we can also have some meditative practice as well. And then with closing and reflection, we'll talk about any of your questions and try to just kind of help you carry what you've learned during the session forward throughout the rest of your week. Now, the 8-week series, this is just the series schedule on this slide. If you're not aware of it yet, we'll go ahead and we'll post it on the Facebook page so that you can plan for the various topics. We invite you to attend all of them, and we hope that you will. But if there are certain topics that are more interesting to you than others, that's okay too. So we'll be happy to have you throughout the series. And we'll cover this again at the very end, just to remind you what's coming up next. All right, now with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Judy, who's going to talk to us about what we do now after GLP-1. Judy?
All righty. So let me go ahead and bring mine up and share that. All right. Tracy, can you see my slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is an introduction for the whole 8 weeks. And I'm going to throw a lot out at you this time period. But what I'd like to do is just chill. We'll do a deep dive into each one of these as we go along. All righty. So I wonder why it's not moving forward. There we go. As Tracy alluded to, there's no cookie cutter way. There's no cookie cutter answer to how you're going to respond, how we're going to respond when we stop taking a GLP-1. But there is much we can do to maintain weight loss, as Tracy said, and even continue with weight loss. But it's a very individual journey. Okay, we're all in this together, but it kind of, each person's going to be different. And hopefully together we'll help you figure out your own path. During this 8-week journey, we're going to help you develop, well, to me, knowledge is king. All right, if you have a really good understanding of the subject, the physiology, the medicines, everything that goes into it, it just helps you understand what you're up against. And then we'll give you skill. You'll put that knowledge into action with skills. The meeting, I think, holds us accountable, and accountability is a big part of succeeding. You know, we're all adults. We all live in this world. We have to have some problem solving skills. I mean, daily, hourly, minutely. And this will help, I'm going on vacation. What am I going to do when? I have a drink and my resolve disappears. So, think of it ahead of time. We'll come up with some skills. To me, goal setting is paramount. I mean, when you have a concrete goal and ways to achieve that goal, it really helps you on your journey. And, Tracy alluded to this too with even the rules. We're a community, and communities, we need communities. And now, for better or worse, we're a community of people losing GLP-1s. And you know what? There's sort of power in that, in community. And then lastly, we'll go through numerous tips and tricks. And to me, it's akin to throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. And some may work and some may not. Tracy went over the class format. We try to stick to an hour, but if it goes over, it goes over. The topic, usually the speaker's about a half hour. You have a chance to share if you would like, and then the closing reflection, and then that's the closing, and then the guided exercise with Lynn. And Lynn, I'll let you handle this when we get to it, but maybe next course or next class, the participants may want to have their weights with them or bands with them or whatever you think. If they
You're reading my mind. Yep. It'll be a little bit different than it was last class. So we're going to do some group exercises because, as you alluded to, we're all in this together. So if we don't do it together, then we can't support each other. So it's going to be a little different this year, and it's going to be about 3 to 5 minutes of exercise at the end of the class. So we'll make sure they have everything they need tonight.
Excellent. I dressed for it. I was hoping so.
Well, tonight will just be an intro, and then, we'll get to it in the next couple weeks. But yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. The other thing, I don't have to worry about the class schedule. Just that we have a whole group of professionals working. And then the last class, Kathy's going to bring it home with her skillful rendition of mindful eating. Okay. So I was accused by my daughter of toxic positivity. I didn't know that was a word. All right. So I'm dropping the positivity for a minute. And I guess I do tend towards that. And here's what I'm going to tell you. What happens when you stop a GLP-1? Your appetite and your cravings increase. Okay. It's just going to happen. I'm not sugarcoating it, because sugar, we want to stay away from sugar, right? So your appetite is absolutely going to increase. GLP-1s really slow the gut down. So now that you don't have this high level of we're putting in a GLP-1, the gut's going to move quite quickly. And if it's moving quite quickly, it's processing the food and you're hungry quickly. So when medication is stopped, and maybe you taper down, maybe you spread it out, or maybe you're at the high dose like it was designed for every week, your body's going to miss that GLP-1. And what happens is your appetite's going to come back, and it's going to come back with a vengeance.
Judy, let me interrupt you one time, just real quick. Brenda and Tammy, could you please mute your phones?
Oh, yes, thank you. I was trying to do that for everyone.
That's okay. There was some background noise and we couldn't hear you, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay. So dancing on a box. Yeah. Oops, maybe
you can do that, Judy.
Yeah, Judy, if you could, because we're not able to. Well, I think you are able to.
Strangely, I don't have that button now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
If you pull up participants, you'll find a list of participants.
But I don't see, maybe it's up here, because I that's how I was doing it normally, but I don't have okay, let me just scroll down and see if I can find that. But yeah, if everybody could mute themselves, I think we're good. I don't see it, darn it.
That's okay. I think she did.
Okay. All right. So as I mentioned, when you're used to this high dose that's put in, and now there's nothing, obviously your appetite's going to come back, and it may come back stronger than ever. So strangely, it's been reported, and not just with GLP-1s, but people losing a significant amount of weight, cravings come back. And the cravings typically are for very calorically dense carbs and sweets. So why I'm telling you this, not to scare you or whatever. It's just people always, oh my gosh, do I hear this all my career? I lost my willpower. I dropped the ball and I gained weight. No, you didn't lose your willpower. The body, things are stacked against you. The appetite came back, your metabolism tanked, and then the cravings are really strong. So buckle up. It will happen. You'll get through them. They don't last forever. The parallel I make are with my smokers. When I get them to quit smoking, the desire for cigarette comes back very strongly the first week. Like, oh my goodness, but it tapers down. And I have a feeling that will happen also. Like the appetite will come back very strongly, but it doesn't last forever. Now here's something, and hopefully I'll show you a video on this. The metabolism adjusts downward. Your metabolism, you start to burn less and less calories, just breathing, just sleeping. And that's weight loss from GLP-1 usually lowers metabolism because you've lost muscle. You've lost a lot of weight. You can lose 25% of your muscle. You could lose up to 50% of your muscle. And when you lose your muscle, your metabolism tanks. So, for people that have diabetes, typically they don't lose their GLP-1 coverage, but if you did, then blood sugar might be harder to control. Um, on a positive side, maybe the constipation clears up or heartburn because now the gut isn't moving so slowly. And weight regain, you're just at risk of weight regain. So it's very nuanced. Weight loss is nuanced, weight gain is nuanced. It is like your body's in this tug of war. Um, with weight loss, you decrease the calories, you up your physical activity, and then the body says, for whatever reason, and my thought is maybe genetically 1,000 years ago, if you had lost weight, that was bad. There wasn't food around, or you were sick or in an accident. And in order to survive, you needed to regain that weight. So we kind of go back to that lizard brain or whatever and say, oh my goodness, you lost weight. Let's put it back on. Like, look, your body's doing you a favor. So you get hungry. You don't get full as easy. And then your metabolism tanks. I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to watch the Netflix series about The Biggest Loser. I think it was just 2 or 3 episodes. It was very enlightening, and it went through a lot of this. So what I would like to do, and I don't know if I could get to that tutorial, I wanted to show you, darn it, I really can't, but maybe at the end I'll pull it up, and it's just a 2-minute tutorial on metabolic adaptation. And metabolic adaptation is simply the body's just determination to regain the weight by making you never feel full, making you always hungry, and lowering your metabolism. And it's very complicated. It's with a lot of gut hormones. It's a lot of brain input and the frontal. It's nuanced. So after weight loss, metabolic adaptation leads to decreased resting metabolic rate and lower energy expenditure. And with the Biggest Losers, that's many times that was why their weight came back. In the beginning of a calorie restricted diet, or you're eating less, you're on the GLP-1s, there's a reduction in energy intake that occurs more rapidly. Like your calories are less than your metabolism. Your metabolism's still good, for lack of a better way to put it. But after a while, the compensatory mechanisms lowers your metabolism to save energy so you're not losing weight. And then again, the circulating hormones like insulin, thyroid, ghrelin, which my girlfriend says she has gremlins, and ghrelin makes you really hungry. It just ramps up, and it's the driving force. Like, I could go for that. Oh, that sounds good. Well, just a little bite of that, but what you see is almost insidious. A little bit here, a little bit there, and then that snowball starts to roll back downhill. So back to the toxic positivity. Can we maintain weight loss and perhaps continue with weight loss? And the answer is absolutely yes. We can. I know I painted kind of a negative picture, but it doesn't have to be that way. I just want you to know what you're up against. So our goal in our problem-solving skills is how I kept talking.
Charleston, West Virginia.
Oops, metabolic adaptation. I'm not sure who's, if you guys could check and mute yourself, because I think I hear feedback, and unfortunately, I'm not able to do that at that point. Or Lynn, if you see who's unmuted, you can shout out that. All right.
Governor wants to know how I'm doing.
So the bottom line is we have to increase your we can't let your metabolism tank. And that I'm going to actually hand over to Lynn and guide us through that. But before we get to that's key in my opinion. Now, what we can help you with, and we're all in this together, we have to find a real tangible way to deal with increased hunger. It's not your imagination, it's for real. So you're going to be hungry and you're not going to get full as quickly. So there's some very succinct things we could do to mitigate that. And then again, this is a very individual path, and you'll figure out what works for you. So I'm just going to throw out a whole bunch of things, and then we're going to do a deeper dive. But this is just sort of dipping our toe in the water about what you will see. Okay, I see the participants now, and I'm going to just go on. If you'll just hang with me for a minute, I'm going to just mute some people. All right, and try not to, okay. Yes. All right, I think I got it. Very good. All right, so these are just some ideas I'm throwing out to get you curious about what we're going to cover. And I'm going to do a talk on protein, fat, and fiber. That's what's going to keep us full. That's what's going to increase your feeling of fullness. You know, people always think restrict, restrict, restrict. Well, that only goes so far. I don't know if you've ever gone without eating, and then you break and you don't go without eating, and it's usually getting in a high volume of food. So we don't want anybody going around starving or restricting, but we're going to make better choices, and it's going to include protein, fat, and fiber. Focus on protein, fiber, which keeps us full, and a healthy fat, which keeps us full. Hydration is as important now as it ever will be, and we'll go over that. Managing blood sugars, if indeed you have diabetes or pre-diabetes or prone to highs and lows, we'll talk about that. At the end, Kathy will bring it home with the mindful eating. Anybody in weight management understands the importance of sleep. If you go without sleep, or you work midnight shifts, or you have insomnia or sleep apnea, you really are prone to gaining weight. And think of it yourself. If you're up late or you didn't get a good night's sleep, do you find yourself like munchy normally? Now imagine that with the GLP-1 now deficit. It's really important to prioritize sleep. Another thing, and we'll drill down on this, is make your food environment the healthiest it can be, because we're only human. October 31st, Halloween's coming up, and there's going to be a plethora of fun-sized candy everywhere. I'm not even a big fan of candy, but I ended up, eating a couple here, a couple there, and then it's like a candy bar. It's like a big size candy bar at the end of the day that's almost mindless. So if it's not around, I don't eat it. I don't crave it, but if it's in front of me, I'm like, oh, that looks good. So really, we're going to have you structure the house, the food environment, with foods that'll help you succeed. Dr. Laura Davis is going to talk, and we really kind of double down on this. Consider other weight loss medications and or procedures, whatever it takes to combat this. Again, it's the same with sleep. We know that causes weight gain. So does stress. Mitigating stress or finding healthier outlets for stress helps. Creating endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, however you do it, if it's a walk or meditation or the grounding that Tracy walks us through, or the exercise that Lynn helps us, it all helps stop that snowball. I said the snowball is going to start rolling downhill after GLP-1. Your job is to dig your heels in, stop it, and then slowly reverse it. So another thing, you want to have a routine. Everybody that's been on a GLP-1 tended to get into a really good routine where you're eating smaller portions, you recognize you get full on smaller portions, you're pushing protein. You want to keep that going. You really do. So you want to eat at regular times, regular amounts. It just helps the system relax. Absolutely be consistent with movement. I'm going to leave that to Lynn, but any type of movement. course, we're big fans of all this, but if you could just get up after dinner and do 10 minutes of vacuuming the house or whatever you want to do, that also bodes well in terms of maintaining weight loss. What comes back, excuse me, with a vengeance is the food noise. The persistent thoughts of food, oh, I just finished with lunch. What could I have for dinner? What's a good sign? It just ramps up. Understand that. Sometimes you'll just have to recognize that and kind of let it go. And we'll give you practical tips on how to let go of some of the food noise. You could absolutely consider a commercial meal plan and delivery kit where or even a frozen meal where this is what you're eating. It's portion control. When it's done, you're done. I'm all for that. That may help bridge the gap when, the feelings of hunger are a little bit overwhelming to you. And then it's very individualized. If you find your cravings really ramp up at night, like, oh man, I could go for this, I could go for that, I want to sit here and watch Netflix and eat a bag of M&Ms, then maybe you could set up some parameters, such as intermittent fasting. I will eat from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then that M&Ms are not in the wheelhouse. Nothing's in the wheelhouse. And guess what? Maybe going to bed is in your wheelhouse. Like, in the towel, I'm tapping out. And that's a win-win. So now you're going to get good sleep and you're not going to have that persistent noise. And then we're going to go over, we'll welcome others' tips, see what's worked for them or what has helped them. But there's a concept. It's called front loading with water. I don't know if you've ever heard it. You drink a glass of water before each meal. Does it work? People say yes. Does it hurt? Heck no, you're getting your hydration in. So there's just a whole bunch of little ways we could just nickel and dime the hormonal response to food and keep it in balance. All righty. So my next slide there we go. So your weight management plan, you could figure out what works for you. I'm a big fan. Of course, I'm a dietitian. What am I going to say? Breakfast is an important meal. You want to fill up your tanks early. 3 meals a day, fabulous. Drinking the water, fabulous. I think we've already reduced portions. For weight loss, almost every program, especially as you get older, really kind of relies heavily on protein. So you really want to do a pivot if you haven't already. Focus on protein at each meal. As I mentioned, protein, fat, and fiber. You want fiber. I'm a fan of protein drinks. Do not get me wrong. But, if you have a full set of teeth, use them. So maybe you want to eat the protein. Maybe you want the fiber, an apple a day. It slows the pace of eating. So fiber's great. The pectin in the apple helps keep us full. Of course, we want to, excuse me, reduce sugar. Absolutely. Carbohydrates, you got to be mindful of. I'm pushing fiber. So we love the whole grains, we love the beans, stuff like that. But the simple carbs, we really have to be mindful of. And of course, I said fat keeps you full, but we don't want the saturated fat because that clogs the pipes. So, just in reviewing what you could do, you could come up with a meal planning's great, or snacks, like safe snacks that you won't binge on, for instance, and I say this all the time, if you had a bag of ultra processed food, which is really designed to get us to eat because it lights up our brain. So let's say you have Cool Ranch Doritos. Do you eat 1 or 2 and say, oh, that was good, I'm done? No, it's like you can't get them in quick enough. But did you ever eat an apple and you don't say, oh, I want 8 more of that? It's like, I'm good, because it's nourishing and it doesn't light up our brain like ultra processed food. So figure out we're really, really pushing vegetables. Every color provides something, all the vegetables you care to eat. We want colorful produce. Of course, we want you to reduce soda. Eliminate, don't drink your calories. If it's diet soda, I'm okay with that. Now, physical activity, I'm going to leave that to Lynn. And then the behavior, the mindset, maybe go back to basics. Maybe if you keep a food journal, that kind of holds your feet to the fire. Maybe an activity journal or both, or maybe even the mood. I was angry and I ate or whatever, just to kind of deconstruct what's driving this. Identify your triggers, social eating. We'll learn about mindful from Kathy, and be prepared to handle setbacks. I mean, life's a little bit messy, and so you went off the rails. It's not game over. You went off the rails. Now you get back up on the path. It's not how many times you fall off the path. It's getting back up on, and then maybe start tracking your sleep. And then we'll do what we call goal setting. So again, this was everything we kind of went over in a different format. But the goal setting I wanted to talk about. And the goal setting's a specific type of goal setting. They're called SMART goals, which are like people say, oh, I don't want to gain weight. Well, that's a great goal. I don't want to gain weight. But what's your roadmap to not gaining weight? How are you going to get there? It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be action oriented. It has to be reasonable. I am never going to eat ice cream again. Well, liar,
Mhm.
So let's be reasonable, and it has to be time-based. So each class, I would love for this week, I'm gonna set a goal for you this week, but each class, I would like you to set your own goal. And it could be based on the class, maybe it was the exercise bit, or maybe it was the grounding bit. Like I will try to lower stress by doing this breathing, or whatever works for you, whatever's top priority for you, set a goal. But the goal I'm going to set, just to get us into the habit of goal setting, is water. So I want to drink more water. Okay, that's all well and good, but it's not time oriented. It didn't meet the SMART goal. It wasn't specific enough. So what you could do is say, and I do this at work. Excuse me, just talking about water made me thirsty. I will drink 32 ounces of water before lunch. I'll refill it and drink it before dinner. I like to get my water in not too late at night because I'm up all night, and that disturbs my sleep, and that's a whole other issue. So just if we all could set a goal and see how you do. And it actually works for me because in the afternoon, I don't tend to drink. I don't know why. And I'm like, oh, heck, I gotta, start drinking this water, start chugging it. But I drink it. It's not offensive or anything, but it's just not in my lexicon to drink that much water in the afternoon for whatever reason. So this week, I'd like everybody to work on setting a goal with water. Now, you could set it however you want it. You could do a 12 ounce, however it works, but be specific, action oriented, time, and see how you do with that. Or you could say, I will front load 12 ounces of water before each meal, 12, 24, 30, you get 36 with 3 meals. So there's many things you could do. Now, I forgot, Tracy, we're going to do questions at the end, but I just had to show you guys a picture of my dogs. That's all. All right.
That's a good reason to do that.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm going to stop sharing my dogs, and now I'm going to turn it over, I think, to Lynn, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
You ready for me?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how amazing Judy and Kathy and Rachel, all of our dietitians are, right? I mean, they're here for everybody in this class. They're here to support you. They're here to answer all of your questions. I am here simply to tell you to move more. Okay, so in a combination, with a combination of being able to move and handling your nutrition and being proactive before you lose your GLP-1s is always the best thing to do. However, if we're in this situation and we've lost our GLP-1s, what are we going to do? And I'm going to say just the majority of us that are on this call are probably postmenopausal, premenopausal, perimenopausal. Now, what does that mean? That means we've lost all of our goodness that's in our body naturally when we're born to build muscle. So now we've lost our estrogen, we've lost our progesterone, we've lost our testosterone. All of those are on the downslide. So why are we gaining weight? Well, Judy mentioned a lot of things in her lecture about maintaining your food choices and maintaining, a good regimen of 3 meals a day. And I'm going to just kind of come in and say, do more. Okay. Do more, because the minimum is not going to be good enough if we're to this place now where we've already started to gain weight. So moving forward, our goals, and we touched on this last class, and we kind of did a nice little initiation of, okay, this is what we should do. But things are serious now. I mean, we're in the middle of it. We've lost our GLP-1s, we're gaining weight, and we're in a panic. It's time to do more. It's time to make sure that you're hitting those protein goals, getting those complex carbohydrates, making sure you're getting your water. And then we have to add on the movement. Okay. Movement is so important. It not only helps with weight loss, but it helps with osteopenia, osteoporosis. As we become menopausal, 50 years old, 45 to 55 years old, we're losing 3 to 5% of our bone mass. 3 to 5% of your bone mass. You are turning to dust as you age if you're not proactive. So what can we do? Let's think about it. Let's talk about increasing our protein needs. A lot of you are like, oh, I can't get that much protein. I can't eat those complex carbohydrates. Just try. You will be so surprised how full you are, how much more satisfied you feel when you push those proteins and those complex carbohydrates and that fiber that you need during your day. If you have any questions, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to our dietitians. They are so here to help you. So let's push the protein, let's push the fiber, let's make sure that we're doing the things we have to do, because in the end, gaining 5 pounds of muscle allows you to lose 3 to 4 pounds of fat. Now just picture that. When you gain muscle, your body is now using fat for energy. So my point in this class is to teach you and to make you and to show you how to get started. Okay. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced and you know what to do, message me, put it in the chat. Hey, listen, I need something a little bit more advanced. But this program, this class is going to be about, at the end of the class, everybody turning on their screens and exercising with me. Okay. You may not like it. You may not want to do it. It's 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to get that bug. We're going to feel good. Not only does exercise make you build muscle, but it increases your endorphins. Endorphins are the good things in your brain that make you feel awesome. So guess what? You don't need those Cool Ranch Doritos because now you have exercise. You don't need those M&Ms because now you have muscle, right? Muscle is going to drive your metabolism. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to do more. It's going to show. I don't know if any of you have been in our clinic yet, but Judy and I were just kind of geeking out about our new scale. We have this amazing new body composition scale in our clinic that doesn't just measure what your weight is, but it measures what you're made of. Most importantly, moving forward in this journey, we have to know what you're made of. We have to know how much muscle you have. We have to know how much fat you have. We have to know how much body water you have. And most importantly, we have to know how much fat you have around your organs. Adipose tissue around your organs is the most dangerous and deadly form of fat you can have. Increased liver, fatty liver, increased coronary disease, all those things that you don't want to happen. So come to our clinic, get on the scale, let us break it down for you, and let us build muscle, okay? The only way to build muscle is to overload those certain muscle groups. So if you don't know how to do it, talk to your provider, talk to your dietitian, grab somebody in the clinic that can help you. If they can't help you, they'll put you in touch with somebody who can. A really good thing about our clinic is we have exercise physiology students. They are getting their master's degree in exercise physiology. They will be there. They're able to write you out a personalized program. So you have a lot of very good resources to not regain this weight, but you have to trust us. You have to buy into this idea of eating the foods, getting the exercise, drinking the water. Okay. It seems difficult when we say to you, 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight. That's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. But you can do it. You can imagine how many foods. I don't know if you follow us on Facebook, but every week I'm posting something about protein. Every week I'm giving you easy protein ideas. A cup of cottage cheese, a cup of Greek yogurt, 4 ounces of meats, all the green leafy vegetables. But if you buy in and you give it a chance, you'll realize that it's working. More protein fuels your muscles, allows you to use fat as energy, okay? So you will burn that fat and you will lose it as your muscle gets bigger and stronger. Not only does that happen, but now you feel better. Now you want to do more, okay? So just kind of getting those little things, it's going to give you a little boost. I think somebody put in the chat, my provider recommended the bod pod at the HPL. Will this scale give the same data? Absolutely it will. Oh, Judy answered it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Plus, we'll be right there to go over it with you. So, come on in and jump on the scale and we'll definitely talk to you about it. So that will be my part in the exercise portion. I will not be here next week, so Judy will take over and kind of warm you guys up. And then it's time to get ready, because when I come back, we're going to do a different muscle group every class. The first class is going to be chest, back, legs, shoulders, arms, and then core. So we have 6 classes. We have 3 to 5 minutes of exercise at the end of every class. So you don't need any equipment. You can get some weights if you want to. But we're going to go through some exercises just to kind of rev your engine a little bit. Okay. I want you to also remember that you're burning calories in your day. Shake your foot, tap your foot, get up and take a walk. Tracy will talk to you when she talks to you about health coaching, about tying things to what you do during your day. When you go to the bathroom and you come out and you do 10 air squats, or you do 10 crunches, or you hold a plank for 10 seconds, tying those things to what you do in your day makes you more successful, allows you to burn more calories. Another thing we have to remember, which is going to kind of make your mind explode a little bit, 1 pound of muscle and 1 pound of fat is the same, okay? 3,500 calories makes both of those, roughly 3,500. We're saying nowadays it's probably more like 38 to 4,200 calories, but in order to build 1 pound of muscle, that means you have to eat your food, okay? Please do not get into a position where you're eating less and trying to move more, because what happens? Your body is now eating your muscles to be able to perform that activity. Your muscles are the most energy dense thing you have in your body, right? So if you go without food and you try to exercise or you try to build muscle, just like Judy was talking about storing fat, your body goes, oh my gosh, what are you trying to do to me? You're trying to kill me. I'm now going to use this muscle as energy. Okay. So another really good thing that the scale gives us is what's called a resting metabolic rate. Resting metabolic rate is how many calories you need in a day to live, to survive, to just be you, right? That's the calories you burn at rest, not doing anything. So if your resting metabolic rate is 1,200, you must eat over that to be able to use that fuel to be able to perform activity, okay? So you can't just survive on, if your resting metabolic rate is 1,200, 1,000 calories, okay? Please understand that. Please talk to your provider about that. Please talk to them about how to fuel your body. When you eat under your resting metabolic rate, your body will eat your muscles for energy. You will then lose your metabolism. Just like Judy was talking about with the Biggest Loser. They were big people, 500-600 pounds. Their resting metabolic rate was 2,500, right? Which is really good. But when you're that big and you lose weight, those numbers come down. What happened with those people is they underfed them constantly. So as they underfed them, those people had to use their muscles to drive their bodily functions. And because they did that, they were unable to maintain their weight loss. So let's do it the right way. Let's make sure we're eating, we're fueling our bodies, we're using that food for fuel, and we're building muscle. Please, if you do nothing in this next 7-8 weeks, please Google exercises, find a personal trainer, find a buddy you can work out with, and let's start getting strong. Let's not worry about what the scale says. Let's worry about how we feel. Let's take away the stigma of being skinny and let's add in being strong. So if there's anything I can emphasize on that, that's what I would like to talk about moving forward. Ask questions. Somebody tell me what they're thinking about food and exercise. Is there something that you want me to cover specifically? And you could just unmute yourself and talk freely.
Let me
Tracy,
interrupt for a second.
Okay.
There is a question related to the number to call in order to make an appointment to use this scale. I mean, essentially, people need to just go ahead and schedule an appointment with their provider, but when you want to cover that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you see somebody in our clinic, it's just an appointment to come in and see your provider. If you are remote and you see them primarily via telemedicine, and you just want to pop in on a day that your provider is there or the dietitian is there, we're more than happy just to put you on the scale. There's an app that you can download. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Is that good? Okay. And Tate posted the Facebook group. If anybody wants to hop on there, you just have to answer the questions, and then you're automatically enrolled in our program or in our Facebook group. If you're telemedicine in Wheeling, then just if you're in Morgantown one day and you want to pop in from 8 to 5, just hit up your provider and come on in. But it is great information. It really is something that I think will empower our patients moving forward, allow them to see what they're made of, and then please do not leave that appointment without getting an exercise program from your provider, please. And if they can't do it, have them refer you to somebody who can. Okay.
Question for you. So for the remaining weeks of this program for the movement segment, the exercise, what should people expect to bring to class to be prepared to move with you?
Okay, so you don't have to bring anything. I mean, you don't have to bring any weights at all. It's going to be a 3 to 5 minute constant movement. So what I want you to bring is your sweat rag and a water bottle, because we're going to move for 3 to 5 minutes. And of course, we'll be able to modify it. For example, my first week will not be next week, it'll be the week after, and that will be 3 to 5 minutes of chest exercises. So we're going to do things like wall push-ups. If you can do on your knee push-ups, if you can do floor push-ups, that would be great. We're going to do that for 1 whole minute. Then we're going to do dumbbell flies for 1 whole minute. Then we're going to do chest press for 1 minute. Pause. Do an incline chest press for 1 minute. So we're going to have 3 to 4 exercises every class, and it's going to be for 3 to 5 whole minutes. And in doing that, I'm going to watch you. I'm going to give you tips and tricks. I'm going to make sure you're doing it right. So that's the best part about having this on Zoom, is now I can see what you're doing and I can change it. I can tweak it. I can help you. Okay. So if you're okay with turning your camera on so that I can see you, you're going to get the most benefit from it.
And next week I'm leading it, and it's just you're simply going to be sitting in a chair, and we're going to do arm exercises to music. So yeah. So no worries about that. It'll be easy.
It'll be your warm-up.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What is your thoughts on the Total Gym? It's the one that Chuck Norris promoted years ago, that you use your own body weight. And I know for a lot of us, like you say, that are menopausal, is our own body weight the best thing, especially if we don't have a gym or we're not comfortable in going to a gym?
So that's a great question. Body weight is a good place to start. Okay. Understand learning the movements of the different muscles is where you have to start your journey. Being able to I think that is on an incline, isn't it? Can't you make it on an incline so it's a little bit harder? I think there's a way to adjust that.
Yes.
But so that's a great place to start, to be able to learn what muscles you're using. But honestly, in order to build muscle and drive your metabolism, you're going to probably need to get some dumbbells. You're probably going to need to have some weights that you can use to overload those muscles down the road. And honestly, you can get pretty cheap dumbbells on Walmart. Sometimes you can get them at TJ Maxx. And even like Facebook Marketplace, everybody is selling everything they ever bought. So, there are some ways to pick up some cheap things if there's not a gym around you. And honestly, dumbbells and an adjustable bench, you can have an entire workout. And now you may need to buy heavier weights as you get stronger, but to start out and to get the movements and to understand, Total Gym is great, but you're going to have to progress there to build muscle. Maintaining muscle, okay. Building muscle is what we're really trying to hit.
If anyone else has a question, feel free to use the chat, or if you'd just like to unmute yourself, go ahead and do that.
Definitely. And please let us know. I mean, once again, we are here for you. I don't think any of us are getting paid for this, especially Tracy. But we are here to help you, to support you. These are the questions that you haven't asked your providers or your dietitians or your friends. Ask us. Let us explain to you why they're so important. So please don't be shy. All right, Tracy, you're up. Ground us.
Okay. All right. No problem. Keep in mind, obviously, as people attend these classes through the next several weeks, you may find that you have questions. It's okay. It's just the first class, so that's okay. Thank you to Judy and to Lynn, of course, for getting us started. This class was really just kind of an overview of what to expect as we move forward. You still got a few tips and tricks in there, but it gives you sort of a general idea of the very specific topics that we're going to get into as we move forward over the next 7 weeks from here. So thanks again, Lynn. Thanks again, Judy. Right now, what we're going to do while we wrap up is move into just a grounding exercise. Normally, we will start each class, as I mentioned, with a grounding exercise to just get us prepared for learning. It's entirely voluntary. If you're not comfortable with it, that's okay. But we do encourage you to join us. So it's just sort of a meditative technique. What you'll do is just sort of at this time, if you're willing, you can begin by finding some stillness. So find a comfortable place to sit, make sure your feet are grounded, and just relax. And you can just settle into your seat or your space and let your spine lengthen and your shoulders soften. You can breathe deeply. So inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Again, inhale.
Anybody out there?
And feel the breath rise like a wave. And exhale. And let it carry away that tension, any doubt you may be feeling, any worry or hurry that you may be feeling right now. And just sort of imagine yourself standing at the edge of a path. It's quiet here. The ground beneath you is steady. The air is calm. This path isn't paved with perfection. It is shaped by your choices and your courage and your care moving forward. And with each breath that you take, feel yourself stepping forward, not rushing, not forcing, just moving with intention. You carry wisdom from every step that you've taken. You carry strength from every challenge that you've met. You're not starting over. You are continuing. Forward is forward, no matter the pace. Keep this in mind as you continue on through your week. Inhale. And feel that truth settle in your body. Exhale. And release anything that tells you otherwise. You're here. You're moving. You are enough. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders, and open your eyes. Welcome back to us. So each day, each class will start with a meditative session just like that, just to kind of get us ready and comfortable. But take these words with you, take these thoughts with you, and just carry them through the week. And with that, that's all the time that we have this evening. But I do want to remind everyone to please be kind to yourself and nourish your body in ways that honor your health and support your weight loss journey. You've already made progress just by choosing to prioritize your health and by being here and deciding to join us for the next several weeks. So we look forward to seeing you here for sure. Here's just a quick glance at the other topics that Judy also covered. So know that next week we'll be talking about culinary tips and tricks with Rachel, which will be fun. You'll have Rachel and Judy next week to get you started and talking about what we can do in the kitchen, in the grocery store. And you don't want to miss this, I'm telling you. Absolutely. So until then, we will see you next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your vacation, ladies.
Thanks, Judy.
Cannot wait.
Thank you.